Hi there, I'm back again. These are tips for the beginner violinist. And last video I did mention how to start forming the letters that you see on a page into fingers. So we went over the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F, G for music, and then it recycles back to A. And this session, I will briefly talk about how to learn how to recognize notes on a page. So the musical notes are kind of like the letters in the alphabet. You know how the letters in the alphabet eventually start to form words, and then the words form into sentences. It's the same with music. So the notes will form into melodies that we eventually play as violinists and as musicians in general. So for music reading, I believe it's very important. It's great if you know how to play by ear, but music, if you can read it, that will open up a whole new world of knowing how to read any type of music. If someone gives you sheet music, think of it like you would be able to read any book or any novel. That's the same with music. So here are the fundamentals of learning how to read music. If you can see this, here they call this the staff. So in music, we will have the beginning of a staff, which is 5 lines, if you count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from the bottom to the top, that creates the staff. And then we have a symbol here, which is called the treble clef. So that is our clef for the violin. So we're pretty high range in comparison to any other instruments, the viola, the cello, even the bass. So we're the highest instrument, so that is called the treble clef. So again, that looks like that. And if you have the book that I had recommended, the Essential Elements for Strings, Violin, Book 1, it will go over that. And then you have the notes that start looking like this. They start out looking like almost balls of snowmen, if you can see that. So we have something called the line notes because it circles the line. And then we have something called the space notes because it's in between the spaces of those lines on the staff. So if you're kind of mathematically minded, you can almost think of it like reading a graph. So the lowest note here, the E, is going to sound lower in pitch. And as you go up the graph, guess what? It starts going higher and higher in pitch. So from low, like, oh. So that's your range here. And there's a sentence for the line notes to memorize them. It's called Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge. So it goes E, G, B, D, F. And for the space notes, F-A-C-E. So, and I will go over how they sound. So every good boy deserves fudge. We start putting fingers down. The E here, first finger E. So that's every good boy deserves fudge. And then the space notes, they spell the word face. So F-A-C-E. So those are just the basics. And if you follow along in the Essential Elements for Strings Book 1, it shows you where you would put your fingers down. As I mentioned, it just follows the alphabet. So D, after D is E, and all that good jazz. So those are just little tips. Hope that helps.